Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish, and as you can see, this is SimCity. So, I don't know exactly how this will be, how this will turn out. SimCity is one of those games where, are there goals? Yes. But it's not the same thing as a game like Caesar or Pharaoh, really, where you can't really beat it. There's not a story, there's not a campaign. It is all about city management and your enjoyment in it. And I certainly do enjoy a good city sim. This one especially has a nostalgic place in my heart because this is the 1.1 version of the original SimCity, and I'm actually playing off the original CD because it can be a little bit difficult to get this game to run on modern systems. So yeah, you definitely don't want to go bankrupt. But so the version of the game that I'm playing right now, the CD that I'm using, actually my dad got it for me when I was very young, back before SimCity 2000 actually even came out. This version I think was published in like 1992, and I want to say that I got it maybe in 97 or something like that. So the game was, had aged a bit, but I don't think SimCity 2000 was out quite yet. So all that to say, I don't know exactly how much SimCity we're going to play. I'm going to do my best to not run our city into the ground, and we'll see what happens as we build it up. I'm very much looking forward to playing with y'all and seeing what happens with an active chat in charge of our city planning. All of you are on city council now. Congratulations, you've been elected. You have responsibilities. It's a real shame what happened, actually, so build just one road. I mean, there are ways you can build a long, skinny city. Well, we'll see what we get up to. This may only be one stream long. It may be a couple or 3 streams. So hang with me, have fun, and at the end of this, let me know if you would like to see more. In the background, our Patreon patrons are working on our newest poll for the upcoming slate of Thursday series that will follow SimCity, since this is the last one on our current slate. So either way, you'll be able to look forward to a poll very soon on YouTube, where you can vote whether you are a patron or not, and you get to decide the order in which we are going to play the games that our patrons have shortlisted for us. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. What shall we call this city? Let's see. The default name is Simwhere. It's Simwhere out there. I think we need this window to be a little bit bigger. I don't hate Simwhere. We'll go with that for now. And let's see. There we are. So, here is the land that we have to work with. Got a big river in the middle. We've got a big lake over here at the side, too. Oof. So all of the SimCity games are based on the same core principles, but many of them mechanically are quite different from one another, in that the best building strategies don't always transfer from one game to the next, and different kinds of terrain mean different things, like elevation was introduced along with water systems in SimCity 2000. This game does not have either of those. In fact, in this game, water is just kind of a hassle. It doesn't really do anything because you can't build on it, and that's all it does, is takes up space on the map. So let's see. I don't know that we can. It's been a long time since I actually cracked into the original SimCity, so like we can bulldoze, but I don't know if we have terrain leveling. I don't think we do. This is not a contextual menu, I should add. Right? Like each one of these is one thing. So this is you can see up here in the top, this is how much money we have. This is the date. This is the demand for commercial zones, which is the blue, you know, places with shops, malls, things like that. Really, was it that early, 1993? Okay, so SimCity 2000 was out then, by the time that I got my hands on this one, because I did not play this until after that. I remember I got SimCity 2000 at an elementary school, not a book sale, but did anyone else, you would get those kind of flimsy newspaper quality, like little flyers from Scholastic and organizations like that would have trending children's books and young adult fiction and things like that, and there was a place on the back of it with an order form where you could write in what you wanted and how many copies, and then your mom would write a check or give you cash or something, and you would give it to the teacher and they would send it out, and then they would mail whatever you'd ordered to the school. That's how I got SimCity 2000. It was in one of those for some reason, and I was very excited. So anyway, we've got commercial zones, we've got residential zones in the green, that's where people live. We've got industrial zones in the yellow, that's where people do most of their working, but also the biggest part of our pollution is going to come from industrial zones. Factories, meatpacking plants, you know, that kind of stuff. So I've got it paused at the moment so that we can build in peace. But you can see here we've got bulldozing. This is our building menu. This is actually the city map. You can see the part of the map that we are viewing in this beautiful like magenta, yellow, and cerulean here. And we can see the entire map. I think the best place to start might be down in this bottom corner. Yeah, well, remember, there were only so many colors when this game came out, so... Now, we can view different feeds on the map, different filters. Like, this will show us our power grid, this will show us transportation, this is population density or growth. Oh, that one actually does have a pop-out. Pollution, right? This is crime, land value, and then we can check our police and fire coverage. Yeah, this was only shortly after black and white, so other colors were still coming down the pipe. Alright, this is our graphs window, where we can see over time how our things like our crime and land value have gone up and down, depending on how well we have governed. This is our budget window, so we can set our tax rate. It's going to show us how many taxes were collected, how much of this we actually got. This is how much is being requested in the budget by our transportation department, our police, our fire, and then, oops, get back down here. And then we've got, you know, how much we're actually allocating, our funding level. This is our cash flow, previous funds and current funds, right? So we can see, are we making a profit? Are we not? So, apparently that window only lasts for so long, I guess. Okay, well, anyway, one of the first things I'm going to do is actually turn down each of these by a few points. That will save us a little bit of money. If you set it below 94%, you start to see degradation in those systems, but actually, I believe you can set it down as low as 94%, and it doesn't change anything. There's no difference between 94 and 100. Okay, well, let's get started. First things first, you'll see over here we've got our residential zones, right? Commercial, industrial, these are parks. Police department, fire department. These are sports buildings, like this is a stadium for 3,000. Different kinds of power plants. We've got coal and nuclear are our options. SimCity Classic's a bit limited. We have the seaport. That is the only thing that you can do with water. And it is, generally speaking, not as valuable as just building more houses for people to live in. And then, of course, we have our airport. Airport's very expensive, so we don't want to do that until later. We only have $20,000 to start with. An airport costs $10,000. So, like, maybe not right away. Let's see. I will do my best not to destroy everything. We have to build things before we can, like, actually destroy them. Oh, which reminds me. So, by now, like, SimCity's been around long enough that even if you don't play it, you probably know about the disasters, that you can destroy your city with. Narnia will be destroyed in fire and water. You can have a plane crash, tornadoes, earthquakes, or Godzilla. A monster will wade through your city and cause destruction. In the Super Nintendo version, which was a wonderful port, Bowser actually replaces the standard default monster that destroys your city. So for now, I'm going to disable that because I don't want anything terrible to happen while we're just building our city up. We want to get going best that we can. So let's see. So we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll do right there. That'll work. I love little sproing noise when you place things down. So allow me to demonstrate. So, the original SimCity is based off of, what in the year 2023, which is wild to say, we now know as terrible, mid-60s and early 70s urban design, where they believed in the segregation of services so that, industry should be in one part of the city, shops and things and businesses should be in another part, and then you should live somewhere else, and transportation should all be about big highways and thoroughfares that took you from one type of area to another type. And of course, in modern times, we know that cities are broadly speaking healthier and safer if there's a little bit of a mixture of everything and we have smaller roads. So this is not the best urban design, but this is the best way to play the game, is to build what most people call blocks and super blocks. So this is a donut block. This is your basic block. You're going to build a ring of 8 zones. Around, in the middle, we're going to put some parks, because that's going to raise land value, and also parks, being green spaces, they counter pollution. So that means that they are actually valuable not only in residential and commercial areas, but also in industrial areas, because this is where our pollution comes from. Now, we also put our industrial zones close to the edge of the map, because what that means is that pollution is generated in kind of an area around each industrial zone. So the closer they are to the edge of the map, where also the land values, I think, tend to be a little bit lower out here versus towards the center of the map. That means that some of the pollution is actually going off the map and does not count towards our city's total pollution levels. So there's a little urban design trick for you. Just build your factories and power plants and things way out in the middle of nowhere, and then it won't poison your city, I guess. There we go. You can see, look at this old game where I'll do this, and it doesn't always join up on the corners, right? Sometimes, see, like that, and then I'll have to mouse over, and when I do, the game will, double check and be like, oh yeah, that needs to be a corner. So, the only option we have for mass transit is railroad. Generally, I think that that's fine, as long as your railroads go everywhere that you need to go. Any given building or zone or facility is considered to be on your transportation network, as long as at least one square of road or railroad is adjacent to one space along the edge of the zone. So, that's kind of the point of these blocks here. What we want to do is we want to sort of separate our residential, commercial, and industrial, kind of like this. I'm going to build a donut block of commercial, and we're going to put more railroad around that. There we go. And then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing with residential. Now, why am I using railroads instead of highways? It is slightly more expensive both to build and to maintain. But you can get away with building less railroad than regular road because it is mass transit. That also means that it generates less pollution for your city because each individual rail car is carrying more people. Let's see, parks. There we go. Okay. So we've got a pretty good setup to start. We haven't spent too much money. Of course, one of the things that you have to find room for is stuff like your airports, your police stations, your fire stations, and things like stadiums, which increase happiness and raise land values as well. So you want to leave the occasional block to make room for those things. Because you can simply build fewer things in SimCity Classic than you can in something like SimCity 2000 or 3000 or SimCity 4, that means that you don't have to plan ahead as much because there's less size difference between the various buildings. But you can see that this is 3 spaces by 3 spaces. All of your zones are. A stadium is 4 by 4. So you have to keep that in mind, that this block is going to be 9 by 9. This is going to take 4 up, so that means that you only have 5 spaces left. So that's something that you have to consider. Now, coal or nuclear? Well, coal power generates more pollution. Nuclear is much cleaner. Coal is cheaper, however. I think it costs, let's see. Yeah, 3,000 for a coal power plant, and nuclear's 5,000. So it may seem like nuclear is the worst choice, especially early on, like coal is cheaper to get started, but a coal plant can power something like 75 or 100 buildings, and a nuclear plant, I think, powers 200 or 300. So you can build fewer nuclear plants than you can coal plants, and then that will power more of your city. The downside is that just like the coal plant pollutes, the nuclear plant has a small chance of a meltdown, which is a bad thing when it happens, obviously. So that means you want to put your power plant like kind of far away. Let's see, how far can we get? Maybe it's better to build it in the north. That might be wiser. Or maybe just over here, because we're not gonna be doing a whole lot over here. Yeah, I think this will work. So we want to build it as far from our city as possible. So we're gonna put it right here. And that is going to leave room for additional power plants if we need to, so we'll call this is our power district. Now, nothing in the city can happen if it is not connected to the power grid. So we've got to get power from our power plants, as you might imagine, as you might suspect, over here to our industrial plant. Go. Perhaps the best way, for now at least. Power lines only cost $5 a pop, so all of these zones will have power because they're touching each other as long as these power lines connect to at least one of them. Now, before we do too much more, I'm going to turn this on and let it run for a bit so that we can see how the demand goes up and down. Because you can see that it starts out industrial's very high, residential is in the positive, commercial's in the negative. That's because no one lives here yet. And no one's going to live here unless there's places for them to live and jobs for them to work. So people live in residential, they work in industrial, and then they spend their money in commercial. So, of course, right now, commercial is in the negative because nobody's going to care about things like strip malls and restaurants until there are people here. Generally, I find that commercial districts are the ones that you need the fewest of, because no one lives there, and they generate fewer jobs than things like factories. So they are transitional zones where people who are going from one to the other kind of pass through there and, like I said, spend their cash. So we do need police, we do need fire, and I think maybe the best thing to do is we'll put one fire station here. We'll put one police station here, because this is going to be like kind of our commercial layer for now. So it's okay if one of those blocks is not actually zoned for commercial. That'll get us started. Let's do this, this, this. There we go. So now we've got everything hooked up to our nuclear power plant. All of these should be well connected. I'm going to do a backup connection right here just in case something happens. And right here as well. Sort of like a safety circuit. Okay, let's turn this on and see what happens. There we go. Immediately you can see some buildings popping up. You can see factories being built. It's only been 2 months. It's now March. Now it's April. So industrial and residential demand drastically increased. So what does that mean? Look here, industrial slowly going down. As things are built, that will drop. People still want residential. As more people move in, that will either drop or increase as well. So that's why we don't want to act too fast. Oh, there we go already. Congratulations, your village has grown to town status. You now have 2,000 citizens. That's the closest thing that you have to like winning the game in SimCity, is your population determines different levels of success. And so you start as a village, 2,000's a town, and then you become a city, and then I think eventually you become a metropolis, and then a megalopolis is the biggest size. So once you've reached Megalopolis, you've kind of beaten the game, because there are no more milestones after that. Can you try and cram in as much population as possible? Certainly. But that is a milestone that you set for yourself. Alright, now here we go. Okay, taxes collected $107. Cash flow was negative $223, so we are losing a little bit of money. Transportation's wanting $152 a year total. We're giving them $142. Police and fire want $100. We're giving them $94. Ah, but look, now our commercial zones are waking up, and they're going to generate some revenue. So this is why, as long as you're not hemorrhaging money, it's okay to sit and let a couple years go by, because you want to make sure that these bars right here don't get out of control. So you don't want to panic and be like, oh wow, oh, there's our first train going. You get a little sound effect when that happens. But see, look at the cascade of changes, how all of these zones affect one another. So you don't want to panic when you see one of these bars like really high and just build a whole bunch of other stuff. Be like, oh god, they really want residential zones. They want a lot of residential zones, so I'm going to build a lot more residential zones. No, no, no. Instead, you want to let things play out and kind of see where they land. Especially because notice that the ongoing changes over here, businesses will come and go, houses will combine into different like larger buildings that house more people. And just because some of these zones become empty when they previously had buildings in them, does not mean that the zone is failing or anything like that. What that means sometimes is consolidation. So like two smaller businesses may merge into a larger one. Ah, see, and here already, 431 because our population's gone up. So cash flow was positive 101, so now we are already making money. Excellent. So see, by basically doing nothing for a year, we went in the positive. Whereas if I had spent additional funds, it may have affected things, you know, the build of the city, and we may have gone back into the red. And now you can see people actually want less residential zones. There's no demand for that, but they want more commercial, more industrial. Part of that is because commercial is things to do and industrial is places to work. So that means that we have as many people as we can kind of support, and they won't want to move here until we give them more stuff to do and more places to work. So let's see, it's November. I'm going to wait and let it tick over and see what our budget looks like again this year for 1902. What's our closeout? There's a little train going along. Love it. Okay, 336, so we turned a bigger profit. Taxes collected $666. Perfect. Nice. Alright, so with that being the case, let's pause here in January, and I'm going to check this button, which I had not demonstrated earlier. This is our approval. Is the mayor doing a good job? 92% of our Sim citizens say yes, only 8% say no. What are the worst problems? Ooh, 18% of people who are complaining say housing costs are awful, 16% are upset about crime, 14% pollution, 13% the taxes. Our population is almost 13,000. We had 4,320 people move in last year. Our total value for the city is a little over $9 million. We are, in fact, a city. And you can see I'm playing on easy mode, but actually, if you decide to play this game yourself, there is no real difference between the difficulty levels, as far as I'm aware, except for the amount of money you get to start with. So if you set it to medium or hard difficulty, all that happens is the game gives you less cash at the outset. Nothing else actually happens. Our overall city score on a scale of 0 to 1,000 is 842, and it looks like our annual change was 117, so it increased last year. So that's great. So you can see this is an effective building strategy right out the gate. Now let's take a look at, no, not our graphs, our maps. Here we go. I want to look at how's our crime doing. Ooh. Oof. Crime's not great, apparently. So the blue areas are minimum crime, red areas are maximum crime. We've got quite a bit of crime happening. Huh. Didn't expect that. And you can see at the actual power plant, crime is mostly okay, but along right here, for some reason, it's like we've got bandits along the power lines, I guess. I don't know what's up there. Okay, pollution. Okay, things are fine here, but of course you can see, yes, indeed, there is significant pollution around this cluster of industrial zones. Nothing we can really do about that at the moment. Population growth. Okay, fairly stable at the moment. Population density. Denser up here, okay. Power grid, everything has got power. That's working. Transportation. Yeah, this is just where it turns your roads and stuff green so you can see them more clearly. In theory. Actually, I think you can see them better this way because they're pink when they're not highlighted. Okay, traffic density. That's our little railroad car is what that R means. Everything looks pretty fine. And land value, of course, this industrial zone has the least land value. Up here, looks like things are doing pretty good. Folks are fairly happy with the value of their land here. And then let's see. Police coverage. Okay. So it looks like we maybe we do need another police station. There's good coverage here, but not great coverage here, so if we put another one over this way, then we can overlap. And that's fine. What this means is that for 13,000 people, we have one police department, we have one fire department. So if we build additional ones, that coverage will overlap and things will get a little bit better. Fire coverage? Same. Okay. Alright, so it looks like it's time to perhaps do a little bit of expansion. So, you can see as we have already built this network, this gives us our base shape. So now all I have to do is this. Oops. Okay, well, here, let me... By all means. There. Cost a little bit of money I didn't really need to spend. Yeah. Because you can go under power lines, as you can see right here, but they're not going to join together if you build in a line like that. So we'll call that a demonstration. Alright, now let's see. Industrial zones. Let's not get too crazy. What we'll do... There we go. We'll put some industry down, so this block will be industrial. But we're not going to fill it all the way up, not yet. That gives us some growth, but it also leaves room to put more industry down without having to build additional city right away. Okay, same thing here for commercial. Let's go ahead and... Oops. My bad. Little section of trees will never recover. So, I'm building one click at a time because stuff like that can happen, where I can click and drag and build railroad, but in later games they added a function where, you know, it kind of stretched a line and showed you where it was going to be, and when you released your click, that's when it put everything down that was highlighted. Here, if I click here and hold, and I try to make a straight line, and then I accidentally sneeze and my hand jerks and I go, ugh, there will be railroad all the way up here in that pattern. And there's nothing I can do about it, and there isn't an undo button, as you can see up here. So it is what it is, and that means that it is much safer to just build one space at a time. Let's go ahead here, actually, because we know there's going to be park at the center of this. We'll keep our land values up and also help to reduce some of that pollution. Since we're not going to be using the edge of the map, eventually I will come in here as well, and I will build like park all the way around this outside area, and that will help to increase these low land values around the industrial zones and counter some of the pollution as well. Alright, now commercial zones. Let's put one here and one here, I think. Okay, let's let that roll on a little bit. We're saying more roads required. I don't know about that. Nobody's complaining. So this area right here is what would eventually evolve into the ticker that became a beloved part of especially like SimCity 3000, where you'd have a news ticker along the bottom that had all kinds of bullshit headlines like, you know, local llama stuck in tree. But also it would tell you things like, your people are upset about housing taxes, or your people think that we need more parks. Folks are demanding hospitals. So this lets you know that's what's on folks' minds. Okay, so it looks like adding these additional commercial districts caused the desire for residential zones to skyrocket. So, let's go ahead. Let's accommodate that desire. I don't want to overdo it, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, see? That's exactly what I was talking about. My hand slipped. So now I have to bulldoze that, which costs $1 per tile. So that's why it is better to just be patient, build railroads, like one space at a time. Oh, you're right. I didn't put any power. There we go. Almost screwed up real bad. No one will move in if there's not electricity. There we go. Now it's slowly coming to life. There's a little bit of demand for industrial and commercial, but we're going to wait until those zones that we have start filling up. So it looks like this one over here just popped up. We'll give folks time to move in. Okay, collected 735. Cash flow was 319. Okay, current funds 5977. So we are still in the positive. Excellent. Transportation is almost always going to be the most expensive part, because at least these are predictable. Each police station and fire department is $100 per year. So that way you can calculate that and you know ahead of time what you're getting into. And they want more residential zones. Okay, well, let's do it then. You can see them flashing and saying they don't have any power for a second when we first put them down, but then they get connected to the power grid and it works out. Oh, we got a little church here. That's a hospital. Hospitals in this classic version of the game were part of the residential zones, but in later versions of the game they became infrastructure like police departments and fire departments. There goes our train again. Okay, we're going to let that fill up for a bit. While that is happening, let's look over here and see. Okay, so crime is still a problem, mostly down here. So that means that we may need to consider putting a police station, I'm going to say maybe like right here. And the great thing about it is that police stations and fire departments, they're the same size as all of these zones, so they are meant to be interspersed like that. They're meant to be part of these donut blocks. Okay, we're still in the positive. Excellent. Okay. Crime immediately went down. Land value's pretty good, except over there in the industrial district. Traffic density's fine. Pollution, not as bad as it was, actually. Those parks helped. Everything's got power. Okay, this area right here is growing. This area over here is growing a lot. Fire coverage. Still not super great. Putting down another fire department's probably not a terrible idea. Let's try and mirror as much as we can because of the shape of the city that we're going for. I'm gonna do this. It's always nice to have backup power connections just in case something happens. There we go. Give that a second to kick off. Usually from month to month is when things change. And there we go. You can see our fire coverage drastically got better. All right, here comes another year. Okay, 989, 388. Okay, good. So even though I am spending money, we are still making more than we are spending. That's what this means. We have a net positive cash flow. Excellent. Good. So if we keep doing what we're doing... Alright, they want a little bit more industrial zones. Let's go ahead, because we want to have some growth every year. So let's go ahead... We'll plop these down, and they want some more residential. Let's go up this way this time from this corner, because this one is going to be commercial. So let's do 1, 2, 3. We'll get them on the power grid over here. Let's pause while we build. Do this. Go ahead and put some parks down. Now complete this railroad. If you put your zones down first, like, then I have a little bit more confidence in clicking and dragging, because you cannot accidentally build roads or railroads like through your zones. So you can click, and as you're moving your cursor, if it goes over this way or down this way, like, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so police and fire, police and fire. So that means probably right here, maybe we're gonna need police and fire. But let's let it grow a little bit first, because once again, we don't want to let this get out of control. We don't want to panic and make too many assumptions and have the whole thing go off the rails, because you can very quickly lose control of your city if you do things like build a whole bunch of commercial zones, let's say, because you are preparing for people to move in, and then all of that still takes maintenance. It still takes budget from you to have transportation run around those areas to send power over there. Ooh, nice, made 1100 this year. So 478. Okay, so we're going to go a couple years and see, because we need to build back up our funds. We always want to have money in the bank. Let's turn the speed up a little bit. Okay. Looks like things are evening out. Okay, good. 507. We'll go another year as people continue to move in, and we'll see what happens. Okay, 1274. Okay, alright. Alright, so now we can see industrial has gone back up, commercial has gone back up. So, let's give the people what they want. Commercial. We'll go ahead and flesh this block out that we already have before we build this one. It feels like commercial is it's the one that fluctuates the most in terms of, like, they want a lot all at once, and then it will drop to the point where when you'll finish a block and it'll be like, no, we don't want any more commercial. Get rid of some of this. Okay, they want industrial as well. Let's start another block here, I think. There we go. Excellent. Okay, good. I'm checking our power connections, power grid. Make sure everything is... There we go. Let's make sure everything is as connected as it can be. Alright, let's let this grow a little bit and see what happens. Okay, I see our commercial coming down. Looks like industrial's coming down a little bit too, but not as fast as commercial. Residents demand a stadium. Oh, I bet they'd like that. Where should we put our stadium? Now that we have a city layout plan, we can play with it a little bit. More roads are required, but they want a stadium. Well, we're not going to be able to build a complete block here, and this is the center of the residential district. Maybe this is a good place for a stadium, and then also, like, on either side of it, an additional fire department and police department. I'll let the year roll over and see what our numbers look like. So they want less commercial, but a little bit more industrial. We can make that happen. Oh, I forgot to put parks here. Okay, 1460, good. So our taxes keep going up. So we've got 810 income. All right, let's pause it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put in the parks that should already have been here. And stadiums are really expensive. They're like 3,000, so I don't know if I want to do that yet. Let's check our maps and see. Okay, so police coverage, It's okay. Fire coverage is also okay. I like to weave them back and forth. So see, this way, police is on this side, fire's on this side, so I swapped them here. And I'll do the same thing again this way so that it staggers it. You get better coverage overlap. Land value is pretty good. Crime is pretty good. Traffic density is not bad. Pollution staying mostly okay. It's as expected. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Everything is functional. Okay. Alright, so... Fire department is going to go on this side. So let's see, this is 3, so 4, so it would go right here. And then police. There we go. If we put it there. That should give us our increased coverage that we need. And it leaves room for our stadium, which is 4x4. So that can fit right there. I don't want to do that yet, though, because that'll clean us out. So they're going to have to wait a little while for their stadium, I think. But that's all right. That being the case, let's go ahead and turn the speed up a little bit and let things pan out. Okay, 1293, cash flow is 458, but of course we spent a bunch of money. Okay, let's see what it looks like this year. What's the difference? 1607, 772, good. So we are staying in the black. That's where we want to be. Residential demand is stable. If we built a little more industrial, residential would go up. 1528, 693, good, okay. It's a little bit less. So, let's see here. Let's check out. The mayor says, ooh, whoa, we're way down. 57% of people say we're doing a good job. 43% say no. Ah, but now, pollution is the #1 complaint. Housing costs have gone way down. Taxes, about the same. Crime is down. Population's 32,700. Ooh, but almost 2,000 people left the city. Okay, so our annual city score went down by 42 points, and our assessed value is almost 15 million, though. That's not bad. Okay, well, that's the ongoing fight. So let's add a couple of industrial zones because they seem to want some. They want commercial as well. Let's build another commercial block like this. Go. And we'll put some commercial right here. Double up on our power grid. Let's see how that affects things. And if things go well this year, then I think we are good to build our stadium, and people might really like that. We'll get our approval rating back up. Okay, yeah, we made more money this year. That's good. I'm going to increase the budget a little bit, and we will see how that affects coverage. Because I know that about 94% is the sweet spot for transportation so that it doesn't break down. For... Oh man, for fire departments and pig farms, I do not know. So let's see, where's our coverage? There's crime. Okay. Police coverage. Fairly solid. Fire coverage, also fairly solid. Yeah. Okay, we're doing all right. Okay, we'll let this roll over. Okay, we lost a little bit of money. Let's double check here. Ooh, a lot of people left. Oh no. Okay, so now for the first time, people are saying, no, we're not doing a good job. Okay, I think we really got to build that stadium. There you go. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. Okay, let's see what happens here. Industry requires a seaport. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably about that time. Okay, we don't have enough, though, because a seaport's like 3,000, I think. Okay. Ah, 709. Okay, that went back up. Let's check again here. Oh, look at the jump. 61%. So see, by meeting these needs up here, these requests, people will really like you a lot more. Crime is way down. Taxes pretty stable. Housing costs fairly stable. Pollution's gone down a little bit. 18 million. 5,000 people moved into the city, so our score went back up by 117. That's not bad. That's not bad. That stadium really did the trick. So that means that the next thing we need is, in fact, a seaport. And it looks like, no, it is not 3,000. It might be 5,000. Actually, I think it's 5, because an airport's 10. Okay, now people want to move into the city. Aha. Okay, let's pause. Let's take a look. Annual changeover. Ooh, this is fluctuating very badly. Okay. All right, well, let's see. Let's give them room to live. Let's build another residential donut block up here. There we go. Okay. Power. That'll take care of residential. Industrial, we can just fill out the block we already have. Okay, commercial, same thing. They want more commercial, we will just give them this right here. Power, power. Okay. Let's see what happens. People are definitely moving into the city. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So let's pause. Our approval went up a little bit. That's good. Pollution increased a little bit as well, but everything else went down. And that makes sense because we added more industrial zones. 8,000 people moved to the city. Nice. Okay, so our city score went up to 712 out of 1,000. Not bad. Not bad. Not at all. Looks like more people want to move into the city, so let's do what we can. Want to make best use of space. There we go. This is going to be a problem. That's the best we can do. Let's see, we can put one here. Can we get one there? Well, before I do, can I do this? Yes, okay. There we go. That's the best we can do. If that's the case... Yeah, see, because you can't build if it's overlapping water. So what we can do, though, is this. We'll raise those land values a little bit. Make some nice seafront property. Oh no. I committed the cardinal sin. I forgot to hook them up to electricity. There we go. Now it's popping. Okay. Alright, let's check our evaluation. Slight increase. Slight decrease over here, but we did have net migration. We had people moving in. And as we get a bigger city, we can reduce taxes a little bit if we need to, you know, things like that to make people happier. Here's what I'm going to do. We are not using this space, so there we go. We'll just line that with parks. Raise those land values a little bit, which will invite better businesses in, but also it'll eat up some of that pollution. Oh, made $1,500 this year, $2,400 in taxes. Oh, we've become a capital. 50,000 people. Our political future looks bright. Let's see how bright. 70% of the population think we're doing a good job. So many boing. Those 14,000 people moved into the city. We're back up to 700 and some. Nice. Very nice. So we want to maintain that. The goal now is to like not dip below that number. Okay, more residential is desired. Really? Wow, I'm very surprised. Okay, well, let's check our coverage. Police coverage and fire coverage. It's about time probably to have to build some more of that over here. Yeah, I'd say so. So let's see. We need one of each on this side. Police is closer, so we will put them further away. Let's do that. Police and fire? And then we'll swap them on the other side. Put fire and police. There we go. Why people need all of these police stations to feel safe, I couldn't tell you. Fire departments I get. Okay, 937. Looking at 61, yes. Okay, we lost some people. We did dip back down. People are upset about pollution. What's our pollution look like? I don't think it's that bad. That's, I mean, this ring around the edge here, sure, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. They want more commercial districts. Okay, that went back up, so had people move back in. All right, good. Annual change 2. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay, that stayed fairly stable. 50-50. Decreased no migration. Okay, so let's see. What are we going to do now? Industry is in high demand. But in order for our industry to grow any more than it already has, I think we need to wait for that seaport, because that keeps coming up. Okay, now we can afford that, but I want to make sure that we have enough cash to still have some in the bank. Okay, good. Our numbers are fluctuating a little bit, but overall, we're doing well. Okay. This is another, like, 4x4, so... where is the best place for this? Maybe here, because just we've already built. We'll try that. There we go. Folks will love it. Okay, that should change the quality of our industry. Not too bad. As long as people are moving in, this score goes up and we stay in the positive on approval. That's all that really matters. See? Okay, looks like we need some more residential, a little more of everything. Okay, that's good. That means people want to move here. Because they want to move in. All right, well, let's see. Let's start with commercial. That's been consistently high, so I'll build a whole block this time. Set up our power grid. I love that the train is apparently on a layer over top of the power lines. That's fine. Okay, this can be some more commercial zones if we need them. For now, that should be good. I want more residential. Let's flesh this out with that, I think. If they're going to insist. Because we can start off easy by not building anything else and then see what happens to the demand. Down here, though, I think we are going to have to bite the bullet and build another industrial zone. Okay. I have to bulldoze some of this. Oh, this one too. Okay, there we go. All right, we will start with that and see what people think. It's got one. Turn the speed back up. Let's see how the demand changes. Okay, we've got a good positive cash flow. How's our approval look? 63%, not bad. Okay, we're staying well over this. I still want more residential and industrial, though. Okay, then we will flesh this one out. And let's put some more up here. You know what? Yeah, let's do this. We've got just enough room to get around, so we'll make like a 2/3 block. And I'll go ahead and we'll still put parks. There we go. Now, we don't have room here, but we've got room here. This is where at a certain point you have to start making decisions like, is my city going to be perfectly symmetrical? I don't know. Probably not. So I can put a residential zone there and one there. I might wait, though, because that could be a good place for our airport, actually. Okay, let's see what people think about that. Okay, doing pretty good there. Let's look at our budget. Okay, we're making enough now. I'm going to turn this back up to 100%, because there's not a lot of difference anyway. That'll cut into our cash flow a little bit, but it'll make them that much more effective. Okay, now let's see. Pollution. Oh yeah, over here because of the seaport. Yeah. That wasn't the best place to put that. I should have put it like over here or something, but it is what it is. It costs more to bulldoze it and redo it now. This is not too bad. What about crime? Crime's not real bad. It's still like the center of the old city over here is kind of where it's the worst. Police coverage is fairly good. Fire coverage is good. Land values, pretty decent, even here right next to the seaport. There's just not much you can do for these industrial zones, even with the parks and stuff, but you can see there is right there. It's helping a little bit. Just a smidge. And similarly, see right here, they help to cancel that out. So something that you can do, actually, if need be, is in order to cancel out more of that pollution, you can plan your city so that there are like blocks or partial blocks of parks between your industrial areas and your commercial areas. Like this first row right here, all the way across, could be parks instead of actual commercial buildings. That helps to raise land values, but it also counters pollution, so that's never a bad thing. Alright, well, got plenty of power, plenty of electricity. They want more of everything. Ooh. Our power plant is handling things well so far. That's 10,000. I think maybe we should wait. Let's give it a year and see what happens. Do people leave? Do they stay? Do they come? Okay, 1423 was our cash flow. Okay, approval rating's very good. We have people moving in. Let's give it another year. Don't know why I'm not using my hotkeys to change the speed. Makes so much more sense. There we go. Okay, 1462, so that is very consistent. This is staying pretty consistent. Down a bit, but not bad. Okay. Oh, now we got a ship. Check it out. Got a boat coming to our seaport. Okay, once again, stayed about the same. That's good to know. Okay, some people left this time. I think this is where what we can do is, let's see what the difference between 7 and 6% is. Okay, so 1403. Let's cut taxes a tiny bit and see how hard it hits us. Okay, we lost a significant chunk of money there, but let's see what this looks like. Okay, people don't mind taxes too much. People did come, they moved in. Approval's good. Okay, I think let's stay with that. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of just, like, waiting, and then pausing it and reviewing the numbers, and then waiting. Okay, good. Cash flow went up. That means people are moving in. Approval's at 67. Oh, 70. There we go. Had to refresh. Okay, alright. One more go, and we will be able to afford the airport. Which means that I probably want to build it the year after next, so that we have money left over, because you never know what'll happen. 986, oof. That's less good. Ooh, people left. Oh no. Why? It's okay. Let's see if they come back. Yeah, it looks like they did. There's always going to be some of that. Because whenever people leave, it creates an opening, and then like it changes the demands up here, and that pulls more people in. So if you're playing this for yourself, don't let it get you frustrated. Don't panic too much. If a bunch of people leave your city at the end of 1 year, probably what that means is more people are going to migrate in the following year. Okay, we have enough now for the airport and to still have money left over, and that's just barely fits. Just barely. Okay. Alright. Just barely. Now let's see. Let's give that a second. to percolate. And now I want to see, what do land values look like now? Okay, that didn't decrease the land values too much. What do for pollution? Not really anything. Looks like land values... No, they didn't really dip. It's got good fire coverage and stuff. Okay. Alright, I think that's alright. So, let's see what that does to our approval, because we fulfilled that request. And there's our airplane, our first airplane. There it goes. 920. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, some people left. That's fine. Alright, I think at this point things have stabilized enough that we need to start looking at these bars again. So, let's keep going this way, because this is the last full block of industry we'll be able to build on this side. Go ahead and pop these right in. I'm just going to build a full block because they've been asking for it. Some parks. There's so much more to do and to be done in later versions of the game, like SimCity 2000. That's when they added things. Well, actually, I think they added it in the SNES version of SimCity Classic, but then it carried over to SimCity 2000 and stuff, where when you hit certain milestones and accomplished certain goals, you would unlock gifts and rewards. So, like, I think when you got to 2,000 population, that's when the people would pay to build you a nice mayor's house, a mayoral mansion. And then, you know, when you got to, I think, maybe 250 or 500 population, you got to build a memorial statue, things like that, and those would raise land values and have other special effects, because you could also get things like scientific laboratories, or you could take on a contract to build a big prison, a regional, like, detention center. So that added a lot of interest to the game. And you definitely feel it, I think, when you go from the newer SimCities back to one of the older ones, because I know SimCity 2000 and 3000, both of which I played kind of recently. Gotta be careful. Uh-oh, see? No money. Okay. We've gotta let the tax year roll over. Let the fiscal year do its thing. Okay, there we go. Now we've got cash. Finish our railroad. Oop, well, dang it. There we go. See how easy it is to screw that up? But after playing SimCity 2000 and 3000, you really notice certain things like not being able to build hospitals or having different sizes of park, and other things that are in beautification and infrastructure, such as ponds and canals and zoos, that sort of thing. You really notice it when you go backwards. But if this one was your first one, you also notice it when you go forwards, but in a different way. Oh, ooh, uh-oh. Ooh, build another power plant. We've got brownouts. Oh, no. Okay, so we have finally... See, we've hit... where, depending on how the buildings fluctuate, some people are getting more or less power. Oh, there's a fire chopper. Okay. It's going to take us a couple years. I'm sorry. We will fix this. See, this is a thing I wasn't really keeping track. I got ahead of myself. That's alright, we're still doing pretty well. Ooh, we're at 75k. We'll see if we hit 100k by the end of the stream. Okay, good. Now, let's go over here and let's build another power plant. Put it right here. There we go. That should take care of that, because you see how big the city was able to get before we started having brownouts. So that means that the city can be twice as big as it is now before we have to worry about that again. $5,000, is that a lot of simoleons? Is that a lot of money in this game? Yeah, but as long as we keep things stable and keep moving ever onward and upward, it will be fine. Let a couple years go by. And actually, you know what? Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. I'm going to go back down to 94% because I didn't see any noticeable change these past several years in what our first responders here were doing. So, okay, what do we look at? Okay, we're staying above 60% approval. That's good. Population's fluctuating a little bit, but we can handle it. I love the corner of our airport sticking out into the water there. Planes just running off into the river like, ah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. It would be wise at this point to move the seaport down here, or perhaps build maybe another one? I could be convinced. Is it worth it? I don't know. I would hesitate to bulldoze that one, but it would consolidate the pollution and it would slightly raise land values here. But with all the extra parks and stuff, I think it's fine. One of the things that I definitely do miss from the newer ones is it's the ability to like right click on stuff. I just bulldozed that. Okay, that's fine. I had it in bulldoze mode. Or cell mode, maybe. That's fine. Okay, here. Uh-oh. Can I not? Is there not enough? Oh no. Oh. Wow. There. I just wasted all that money because I had to put it right back. BS. Starfish, what are you doing? We'll have to recover from that. Ignore that. Ignore me. Nothing happened. You didn't see anything. There. See, look, we're fine. We're recovering. But in some of the later games, you have the ability to like right-click on buildings and get more details about them, like how many people live in a specific commercial area or do business there, or how many people live in a residential zone. You can even name the buildings. You can declare them historical buildings too, which will stop them changing. So if you like a specific sprite, you can lock it, and then it won't change anymore. Okay, I think it's time, especially if we want to break 100,000. It is time to build more residential zones. So we're going to have to start staggering over this way a little bit, because we're not going to be able to get a full block in here. So I'll do what I can. It's going to be one of these dealios. Like this. Twang, 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 twang. I tend to, for aesthetic purposes, build all the way to the edge of a zone, but technically, I think I said this earlier, as long as one space of your road or railroad is touching, it's fine. You don't have to do that. it's actually a waste of money. Because it costs you money to upkeep the railroads and stuff too. It's not the same thing as like the power connections where, like, it's worth it because you want redundancy. Okay, I think we can go ahead for free, or at least rather with without having to build anything extra. There. We can do this. Ta-da! Boing, boing, boing. There. Okay. Let's do this. Let's let people move in first and see what that does to our industrial demand. And then we'll go from there. Okay, we're at 77K. So that put us 78K. Okay, so we've got growth. We have net growth. That's good. Looks like they're starting to want some more commercial areas as well. We're gonna have to start coming up this side. Okay, more growth. I'm gonna let this stabilize a little bit. See what happens at the end of the year. Is this fun to watch? I don't know. Okay, a little bit more growth, but it's slowed down, which means we need incentives. So, let's do industry. This particular map seed does not lend itself well to long-term growth and expansion because there's just so much water. And the seaport's the only thing you can do with or about it. They had tools for that starting in SimCity 2000 where you could like level off the land and fill it in, but you can't just bulldoze the water in this one, unfortunately. But it's okay because there was more to do in SimCity 2000 regarding the water as well, so... There we go. And another commercial zone as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 commercial zones. Yeah, don't you tell me you don't have power. I know better. That's a lot of post offices or whatever that is. Small grocery store, maybe? I don't know. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, good. People are definitely moving in. Let's give another year and see what happens. Okay, good. We've still got positive. We've got net gain. We are close to 100,000. So, where do we go from here? See, there's only so much room. We start running out eventually. I think we're gonna have to go on up this way. We need more residential. And then it's going to be time for more infrastructure as well. I think it's time for additional police and fire stations to make sure that stuff like fire risk does not get out of control. Where's going to be the best place for that? Probably right about here-ish. Let's do... here and here, we'll say. I think that looks all right. Okay, immediately that giant hospital tower jumps up. It's like, whoa, calm down. We're at 90,000 easy. Let's get to 100,000. I know we can do it. Come on, Sims. Oh, there we go. 93. Good. Let these fill up and stabilize. So you can see a lot of these, they have just kind of locked into these big apartment buildings, which is good. That means that, you know, that's like maximum size, and it means that they're stable. Those people are not going anywhere. Okay, 1,600 moved in. Might need a little more room. Let's give one more year. Perhaps my favorite thing that that they added in later Sim games is your advisors. And SimCity 4 suffered from this because 3000 did such a good job with it. And you had these cartoony fellows on your like city council or whatever, and they would give you advice about health or fire safety or transportation, and they had fun names like the transportation advisor had a name something like I'm a leavin'. Oh, disasters. We've got fire, flood, air crash, tornado, earthquake, and monster. We will definitely use those before the end of the stream. Don't worry. That's going to be our big finale. Okay, we are at, what is it? 97,000. Okay, so we do need more room for people to grow if we are going to hit 100,000. I think one more block will do it, actually. So let's make this happen. There we go. That's our first full residential donut in a little while. And that may cause them to demand more commercial. It's definitely bumped up the demand for industrial. It's filling up, though. Like, people really want to move to our city, which is great. Oh, and then immediately people left the city. Okay. So we need more jobs. Let's do it. Okay, connecting railroad. And power. Mitigation. There we go. I think the next commercial block I will probably put up here somewhere central-ish so that it serves multiple of these residential blocks up here. Ooh, we're almost at 100,000. I think this is going to be the year. I think 1996 is when we, or 1966 is when we will hit 100K. Huh. Oh, we did. So now we're a metropolis. We didn't get the pop-up. But there you can see it. We are a metropolis. That's 100,000 people. Some folks left. But we're still a metropolis. It's fine. Okay, let's do commercial. Proximity is one of the things that matters because, of course, just like in real life, Sims prefer to go the minimum distance to get everything that they need. So that means that, like, these commercial districts down here are not really serving these residential areas. So this will help. Let's see, we need one more power connection. There we go. That's 100,000. I can't remember what the milestone is for the megalopolis. I don't know if it's 150,000 or if it's 250,000. could also be 500,000 or 1,000,000. I don't think it is. Oh, we got downgraded. Oh no. Why are people leaving? Probably because of just what I said. It's the industry factor. Well, here. Let's create some jobs. Jobs that you don't have to drive as far to get to. This keeps it to where it is still on the outside of the city. But they don't have to take the train quite as far away from home. The shorter you can make their commute, the more they're gonna love you. Alright, let's see how they appreciate this. Oh yeah, that one. Look at that, look at the industrial demand drop. Oh yeah. Just that one donut of industrial zones worked miracles. Ooh. Okay, we need more commercial. This is the name of the game. Hey, did it. We have plenty of money now. What to do with it? I think maybe it's time to build another stadium, because this one's all the way down here, and so is this airport. So maybe we need another seaport, an airport, and a stadium up here on this end of town in order to keep people happy. That sounds sensible. So let's see, where's a good place? This stadium probably covers this area, so that means I think we need it to be like over here-ish. Yeah. Can we put it, can we put it right here, perhaps? That would be very nice, because then it wouldn't disturb the structure of other blocks. Will it go over that little inlet? Let's find out. Ah, it will. We'll just build our stadium directly in the water. Sounds great. Sounds great. Oh. Oh, okay, no. I was panicking over nothing. I saw those flashing lights. I was like, wait a second. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Crime alert! Uh-oh. Crime in our city is out of hand. Angry mobs are looting and vandalizing the central city. The president will send in the National Guard soon if you cannot control the problem. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Crime? Crime, you say? Where's our... where's my filters? Hello? Crime is very high. Alright. Fair enough. Well. It's not letting me see... See, like, the little menu is gone. Where did it go? I don't know. Police there. Let's get some more. Well, there's a police station right there. Gee, I wish that I could see the overlay. Let's try this. Crime. Okay, crime has increased in the city. The problem is... Oh, there we go. The little hammer icon next to it. I clicked it off at some point. Okay, so we've got crime is pretty bad up here. Alright, well, let's build... Okay, there. And... Right over here as well. Okay, well, let's put one there. We can afford it. It's fine. Industrial zones, for some reason, seem to generate a lot of crime. I don't know why. Okay. Let's give that a couple months. There we go. Now let's check again. What's crime look like? Still pretty nasty. There's literally a police station right there. Okay, they've got good coverage. They've got pretty good coverage. It may just need more time for crime to come down. Yeah, see there. There we go. It's coming down a little bit now. Pollution alert. Uh-oh. Pollution in our cities exceeded the maximum allowable amounts established by the SimCity Pollution Agency. You are running the risk of grave ecological consequences. Either clean up your act or open a gas mask concession at City Hall. What's our pollution look like? Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. What is that? Oh, that's the airport. That makes sense. We have it all centralized. More importantly, there's only so much you can do. And I'm not sure how much of it's measured by other stuff. Like, for example, does the percentage of pollution that matters decrease if you have more people? You're generating the same amount of pollution, but it's less pollution, like, per sim that's present. So, how much do they care? You know, like it goes down? I'm not sure. But there's only so much you can do about it. And you know what that means, right? When I say there's only so much we can do about it, you know what that means. Still want residential. Let's do this. At least land values are really high. It's like, yeah, you complain about the crime, you complain about the pollution, but you still live here. Okay. What's that looking like? Okay, that's pretty good. I'll admit, you know, I don't like that much pollution, but what are you supposed to do? Oof. Lost quite a bit of money that time. Oh no. Okay, gain money though. At least we're consistently in the positive, and that's okay. If it goes up and down a little bit every year, that's totally fine, as long as it doesn't ever go into the negative. That's all that really matters. Okay, let's check on what's crime look like. Okay, it is down to much more acceptable levels. It's still higher than I want. Right here, we need more police coverage, which is weird because there's two stations like right there and there's another one. Buckwalk, you know what? Y'all deal with yourselves. Honestly. It's fine. 65% of you think I'm doing a great job. I'm not worried about it. Besides, it's 1978. It just makes sense that crime would be like at these levels, right? I'm pretty sure. Probably could use a fire department here, though, to be fair. Don't want that to get out of hand either. They want more residential. Let's give it to them. Let's do... Haha. Just barely. When you have a weird map like this with all of this water on it. You just have to do the best that you can. Yeah, crime is not great. Okay, here, let's try this then. Let's increase their budget. And then we'll see what happens. Let's see if crime goes down. Made a little bit less money, that makes sense. Let's give them a chance. They asked for more funding. We'll see. Not a fan of that, but more roads required. I don't think it is. Like, traffic density is fine. Yeah, we're pretty stable. So you can see, like, this technique, even when sometimes you have to build asymmetrically, or you have to break up your blocks because you can't cram all of the zones in there that you would like to have, this technique overall still works pretty consistently, pretty reliably. So if you go to play this game yourself, there's definitely things you can do that are better and smarter than the way that I'm playing it right now for you. But for sure, you can use a few of these things that I'm doing here as tips and hopefully enjoy the game. It's a fun, chill little way to kill some time, especially after some of the series that we've played recently on Thursdays where, you know, I'm always going to have a soft spot in my heart for Star Tropics because that's one of the hardest games I've ever played and beaten. But I also am still, like, coming down off that adrenaline high as well. And then the Incredible Machine, you know, there's a couple puzzles there that we really got hung up on, but overall that was some nice laid-back fun. And I figured this would be too. I don't know that I'm going to play too much more of it, though. This might be the only stream, because I got the chance to show it off. You've seen everything that can happen. You know, these are all of the buildings to which you have access. It kind of is what it is. So, no, because this is not the Super Nintendo version. That was unique to the SNES port, which I never owned, but I had a cousin who had it. And I remember playing that because I also remember, and I remember overriding his save file with mine. I'm still sorry about that. But also it's SimCity, like, you know, this one technique works. It's not hard to catch back up to where you were, because, like, you know, look, we're very stable here right now. So if I kept building, or if I started building on the other side over here, we definitely could have more people. We could have some more power plants over this way. Can we run lines here? No, we can't. We could put power plants down there, though, and run them up like this. So see, you could be like, let's see, 1, 2, yeah. Right here. The way you would want to do that. There we go. That should also get rid of all of the remaining industrial demand, I would think, that we've got currently on our graph. There we are. And actually, let's see. Let's do this. I'll kind of show you a little bit more of what I was talking about. There. We have plenty of money to experiment, so we might as well. Let's put all of our nuclear power plants in one basket. That's what I always say. Oh no. Crooked power lines. We can't have that. There we go. See, and other things like SimCity 2000 and 3000 introduced stuff like bridges and the ability to have power lines go underground and go across rivers and canals and stuff. It's a game changer, which is why it was a different game. Here we go. So you can make things a little more complicated for yourself. And here we go. Rather than having them... Oops. Dang it. See, that keeps happening. There, I'll just do it this way. Rather than having the grid connected to this, we'll just run a second line. And then these parks will do a lot to mitigate that pollution and keep it away from this commercial district that we're about to build. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. Ta-da! So we have this whole buffer zone, and you can do that to help reduce that pollution, cancel some of it out. It does work, but it changes the structure of your city, changes the shape of your blocks, so it leads to a more complicated build, which that's fine. You just have to know in advance that that's what, you know, that you want to deal with it. It's a choice that you have to actively make and decide, yeah, that's what I want my city to look like. Not this. Goodness gracious. There we go. Now let's see. Ah, yes. Police. And fire station. Redundancy. There we go. Let's see what this does. On standby with some more commercial zones if they need them. Of course, yeah, we spent quite a bit of money this time, so we're not going to make as much. Okay, that commercial zone demand is going up. So we'll place new ones one at a time. Ooh, it went way up. Okay. Then here, I will just finish. There we go, 127,000. Not bad. I don't think 150,000 is the Megalopolis. I'm pretty sure that's either 250 or 500,000. It's really cut into our profits. What if we put a seaport like right here, though? Just in this little landlocked... Is that anything? Okay, concerns about pollution have gone down. That's good. And we're staying consistent, so yeah, not bad. Not bad. So... yeah, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this evening. I have. It's, like I was saying, it's very nice to just relax with a chill game that doesn't have very high expectations of you, especially when it's one that you know well and can play. I might consider playing SimCity 2000 or 3000 in the future if y'all indicate an interest. Just because those, I feel like, are more interesting games to watch long term. Because, I mean, 2 hours of this is, you know, like I said, 30 minutes in, you've kind of seen everything. So unless we get silly with it, it is what it is. But those others have so much more to do, where they have reward buildings and all kinds of different strategies. Elevation, there's an underground level with subways and water pipes and subterranean power lines. Yeah, 2000, I played the ever-loving shit out of SimCity 2000, and it still is one of my favorite games. I think it holds up very well. It was a wonderful successor to this game, for sure. It was a very worthy sequel. It did everything this one did, but better and more of it, and that's what you want from a sequel, you know? So I had fun, but I don't think that I will play more SimCity, probably, unless you guys really, really want me to. And I'm not going to play any of the sequels right away. So that means that instead, I'm gonna leave it here in just a second. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you should come back and join me on Saturday as we continue with our Desert Rangers and their adventures in the Wasteland. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is New York and Miami time, here in the US. And then, since earlier this week on Monday, we played Paper Mario with Specific Pixel. That is the, you know, our kind of husband series, and that means I'll alternate back to my solo series on this coming Monday, which is Divine Divinity. So you can show up for those. Be sure to follow here on Twitch if you aren't already. And if you want to support the channel, you can throw that Amazon Prime free monthly subscription at us and make Jeff Bezos' money do something worth a damn. If you're watching on YouTube, after I upload this over there, there's not going to be a playlist. It'll be a standalone video, and I'll add it to that section on the YouTube channel. But if you'd like to subscribe, if you want to like this video and leave us a comment, tell me about your experiences with SimCity, any of the SimCities, or any of the Sim games, because there are some wild ones, like there's SimAnt, SimEarth, SimTower, which I love. That is such a... It's like this, you know, it's a very early game, low res, but there's so much to it, and it's so much deeper than you would think in terms of gameplay and management. Sim Farm, yes, that's one. SimIsle. SimIsle was a bit of an odd duck. But there's a lot of sim games out there, so tell me which ones impacted you, and let me know if you spent a lot of time with this one or another one growing up, or if you're only discovering it for the first time. Then I hope that I would encourage you to find it somewhere, play it, give it a try. I will try and put a link down in the video description where you can pick up SimCity Classic. I think that GOG has a SimCity Mega Pack, but I don't know if it has this one in it. So if I can find it, I'll put a link down there and you can scroll down and find it for yourself. But I think that's going to be enough SimCity for now. So that means that I'll take a break next Thursday to get our next game ready. And I don't know what that's going to be yet, but look forward to a poll over on YouTube where you get to vote and decide what order we're going to play these new games coming up in. There are some fun ones getting voted up by our Patreon patrons, and if you want access to those polls before they do go to the public on YouTube, then feel free to join us over on Patreon. All of our socials are linked down below, regardless of whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. So come hang out with us there, and you can get your game requests put on that list and bumped to the top. Now I think that it's time for the ultimate destiny of all SimCities to take place. I think we've reached the critical moment. It's time perhaps for a disaster? Do y'all have a favorite off of this list that you would like to see? Is there anything here in particular that tickles your fancy? Perhaps a nice tornado for you. Maybe a lovely earthquake. Maybe you favor the crashing of the airplane. I am partial to the monster myself because it's a little different in every SimCity game. So... Oh, you can't see the drop-down? Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look over at my other display that's showing me what you can see. And okay. So, fire, flood, air crash, tornado, earthquake, and monster are your options. But we'll go with a tornado. So there we go. Okay, well, it spawned it in the middle of nowhere, but that's fine. Oh, man. That sound effect lives in my nightmares. That's core memory unlocked. It's just over here not really doing anything. Okay, well, let's try another one. How about an earthquake? Ah, there we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. Now you see a little bit of damage. How about let's crash an airplane or two. That's in the middle of nowhere. That's not doing anything. Come on. Did we lose power over here? Why? Oh, the earthquake. That's fair. Let's see. How about a flood? Well, that was brief and unsatisfying. Let's try again. Really? Okay, there we go. That might do some damage. No? All right. Let's set fires. Start a fire. Where did the fire start? I don't even see it. Oh, these are terrible disasters. Oh, I think what's happening is because I have it on the fastest speed. The fires are starting and then they're like burning out. There we go. See, now you can see it. They were burning out right away, which is surprising because usually they spread like, well, like wildfire. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Here, we'll just... Monster attack! A large reptilian creature has been spotted in the water. It seems to be attracted to areas of high pollution. There's a trail of destruction wherever it goes. You will have to wait until it leaves and then rebuild from the rubble. And there we go. That's the original flavor SimCity monster. It shows up, it comes out of the water like Godzilla style, and then anything that it crawls across is destroyed and has to be bulldozed before you can rebuild. We are still turning a profit. Oh, we still have approval as well. Nice. I love this. Like, there's a giant monster literally eating the city alive and setting fires. There's a tornado. There's been multiple plane crashes, but people are mostly concerned about crime. They're just always really concerned about crime. See, the lizard just kind of wanders around and is attracted to high pollution areas like airports, seaports, and industrial zones. And if you are playing the game right, then that means that usually it has to crawl through your residential and commercial zones to get to the pollution, therefore destroying more of your city. So, oh no, pollution alert again. I would say so. Well, y'all... Again, thanks for your time tonight. I appreciate the luxury of your presence, your attention, your participation. You could have spent the evening doing anything, but you chose to spend it with me building this little Sim City. I hope that you had fun, because I certainly did. And... I hope that this encourages you to give the game a try if you never have, or to dig it back out if it's been a while since you played it. I'm going to let this monster run its course and do its thing, and I will see you on the other side with the next video. Thank you for all of the follows, the subs, on Twitch, on YouTube. Thank you to our Patreon patrons. Your support is always appreciated. And to all of you, as always, thanks for playing.